Jim, where did this start in terms of, and I know there's been so much movement and everybody's playing musical chairs, and there had to be an impetus to say, hey, if I don't make a move, I'll get left behind. I cannot let that happen. When did this start, and when did you know I've made the deal?
Well, it started, as you said, intercollegiate athletics the last couple of years has really been into the realignment mode, and so looking at it, but then seriously this summer. And when the Texas A&M was moving out of the Big 12, I thought that would destabilize the thing, and people started to look, and I didn't know where it was going to go. So as you know, we developed a great piece to send out to the presidents, to the commissioners, to the ADs, and just talk about the attributes of San Diego State. And so for me it was an easy sell, and I know for you too it's an easy sell, but really outside of San Diego and outside of the area, people didn't realize what was going on here from an academic side, from an athletic side, and I found that just being the new guy on the block of less than 2 years ago, that it really is good, and it's impressive, and we needed to tell people about it. So really this summer it really started, and then just I think in the last when President Hirschman was sitting down to turkey dinner with, or the day after turkey dinner with John Marinato, the Big East commissioner, that when it was like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen. And so we wanted to go through, the process and due diligence and really look at it and analyze it, but at least the opportunity was there 2 weeks ago that we didn't have in the history of San Diego State.
Fantastic. Was there ever this announcement of the Conference USA and that huge combination of all those 16 teams, whatever it was, with the Mountain West? Did that ever, you thought, okay, I don't need to do anything else, that'll be good, I'm satisfied, or were you suspicious of that and needed to get better and bigger?
Well, I think what the Mountain West Conference was trying to do was get out of their TV deal, and they're still looking to do that, and may take some actions to do that very soon, but the approach to the Big East, I didn't think that would ever work. When the Mountain West Conference and Conference USA said, hey, Big East, let's join all forces together and we can make this work. And the Big East, as John explained today on the conference call, the media conference call, that they've been working on this for a year. They've started to develop the concept of a Western division and what they were going to do, and so their plans had been in a long time. So I felt like that wasn't going to result. Yeah, it's a great fallback, but this is a better opportunity for San Diego State.
Was there ever a chance, by you pitching it or the Big East saying, hey guys, what do you think about like the others in terms of Houston, SMU, coming in whole hog with all your sports?
That was something that I was pushing early on. It makes it easier, and if all your sports are together and have a Western division with all your sports, but it isn't in their plans yet. I just say, down the road, who knows what happens. But I think that for us it was important to get that step, and football is the one that drives athletics programs and the attention and the exposure, and it's driven realignment. And so football led the way from that standpoint, and I think it'll help all of our programs.
I mean, if anybody out there thinks there's a downside, I mean, they think they may be geographically challenged about the Big East, but in terms of you and your teams going into the 8th largest city in the country, in Dallas, to play SMU, and the 10th largest in Houston, or go play a basketball game in Madison Square Garden, the East Coast revenue, the East Coast television. I mean, from a recruiting standpoint, from an exposure standpoint, Jim, this is enormous, is it not?
Yeah, it is. It really gives us to become a national institution. They've had a lot of our programs academically and athletically have been ranked in the top 5, top 10. But you don't really get the attention that when an athletics program is out there and playing on a national scale, it elevates it to a new level, and so it's exciting, and I'm very pleased with what's going on right now.
And no offense to the Mountain Network, which has limitations, never cleared the Dallas market. Aztec fans tell me all the time they can't get it in half the areas of North County, but now you're talking, are you not, ESPN, ABC, and just not only big time revenues but big time television numbers.
Yeah, and as they say, then you're plugged into the Bristol machine, if you will, of both from a football standpoint and playing some Big East schools in basketball, and that's part of the agreement. 2 home and homes with men's basketball was very important, and both our basketball programs to be able to continue to grow them. And Steve's just done such a great job, and they're having a great season and all. And we want to continue that, and it's important to develop and continue to grow basketball. So that was part of the decision as well.
In terms of, you did make an announcement today. There's been rumors about the Big West, but you haven't made an announcement. Do you have multiple, based on your basketball and golf and soccer? My gosh, I'm assuming you have multiple options.
Yeah, we do have multiple options, and it's people are very interested in our program, and obviously the leader in the clubhouse is men's basketball right now and what it brings to the table, and so there are multiple options there. We're hoping that decision is done sooner rather than later, but I can't tell you at this point when it's going to happen, but we want to make sure that it's the right decision for basketball and all our programs.
Have you sat down? Do you have to want their input, or can they get involved in this in terms of, you mentioned Steve Fisher with Tony Gwynn and others. Have you had meetings with them to pick their brain at where do you want to go, what's optimum to you, or do you have to just make a deal based on television and other revenues?
No, I think it's we have gotten input, just as the president received input from the faculty senate and others on this moves. On both moves, really, and we've gotten feedback, and we've had head coaches meetings. I've really kept them up to date in the realignment phase of this thing, and I have monthly meetings with our head coaches, and we had a special one recently and talked about what's going on. Here's the opportunity. What do you all think? Give them a chance to voice their opinion. Talk to commissioners, find out more details about leagues. So all that's been going on behind the scenes. It's not always in the public, but I've got a great group of people that I work with, both from the staff standpoint and with the coaches. And I mean, for instance, Steve Schnall, he pulled together the video that we used you in, and the voiceover. That was done in a week, and worked with Channel 4 and talk about partnerships. There's some great partnerships that were pulled together, and it was just the timing of it was so important, and get the word out. And the Sports Council gave us video footage, and we had a lot of people pull that together. Mike May with the stats that we're the #1 school in the country, the combined record of men's basketball and football over the past year, and have continued to do that. And we're still up there. So it's those were things that helped us position San Diego State to be considered for something like this.
And cliche number one is striking while the iron's hot. You could not probably do this 5 or 6 years ago. The program was not there, football was not there, basketball was on its way, but you have cashed in now, literally, at the exact right time.
Right, and it was important for us to stay with Boise State and play at that level. I think people from San Diego saw the excitement. They were interested when Boise came down here and played in football this fall, and I think that can only continue to grow, and I think we've got a great coach that wants to compete at that level and go to BCS games, and bowl games are okay for Rocky, but that's not the end all. So he's, as you know, a very competitive person and wants to continue to grow the football program, and this gives them a huge opportunity to be able to continue to do that.
Jim, trust me on this. In closing, from the CCAC, the Collegiate Athletic Conference, to the WAC, to the Mountain West, this, not to be hyperbolic here, is the biggest single day in San Diego State sports history. I hope fans understand that. That's how big this is to join the Big East.
Well, I appreciate that, Ted, and I think, I feel blessed to be a part of it, and it's really, been a fun ride these 2 years, and we want to, obviously the future is gonna continue to grow, and we've got a lot of things to do yet, but it's been fun, and I look forward to the future in the Big East.